Do you like having info? Well, of course, who doesn't? And R6 Tracker does exactly that. It provides you with information, whether it's KD, win rate, favorite operator, or maybe a niche pick. R6 Tracker has everything. Keep track of your current win streak, your performance, and hey, you can even track your consistency, or your lack of it. Link is in the description below. Here we go. Chalet. Nomad ban from TSM, okay. Affecting Team Liquid's map control and flank abilities. We saw NA play a bit of Zero on this map, which looked quite good, to be honest. Thatcher ban? Hey, surprise, surprise. Timer doesn't fix the box? Nope, that is completely normal because the box is bigger during the banning phase. Kite ban? So Thatcher and Kite equaled out. We see that on Oregon being done quite often as well. And Mira. Valkyrie's open. Okay. We see the Valkyrie being brought out and equally so the Valkyrie and the IQ. So that is a counter. This is the big difference with Valkyrie being open, is that Liquid and TSM, when they get to attack, they will need to both be running the Valkyrie. So I keep missing this. They need to run the IQ, sorry. Or they will have to face the consequences. Nice frost traps. Covers the north side of the map.
Is almost unthinkable, especially for somebody like Nesk, who has been, for my money, Des, one of the best players to ever touch this game for consistently the longest time as well. He is right up there with Pengu for me in the annals of Siege history, is Nesk.
Caster's talking about how Nesk is one of the best players in the world. I agree. He's been doing it for the longest, you know, consistently playing very well. Speaking of the man himself, Nesk finds the opening kill for Liquid on the second map. That is Merc off the board and the Vigil taken down. It's a big obstacle for Liquid, as Liquid is very info dependent, so getting rid of the Vigil that messes with the drones is quite a good early kill. You've also found 2 Valkyrie cameras already, so Nesk getting hella stonks with this Valkyrie pick. I keep saying Valkyrie, but do you mean IQ? My name? Yeah. They also mentioned me, but I am not the man in question. Nesk and I, we've both played for like forever, and both always been good performers. And I'm very proud to have my name mentioned alongside his. Paolo found Bolo with a great nade onto the Goyo shield. Goyo dying on a Goyo shield. Karma. Karma. Liquid playing 2 claymores could be a way to make up for the loss of the Nomad, perhaps. So it does come at the cost of limited verticality, especially seeing as they only have Sledge now. Oh, Nesk literally just walks over at Chief. Jesus. Had a refrag behind him as well. This is Team Liquid confidently taking control of the map. Now they can start slapping that floor open with the hammer. The trophy that they might conquer later on the tournament. Oh, that's beautiful. Yellow ping came through. And it's an injure. So I assume that's the 3rd Valkyrie camera right there, providing information for the vertical play above. Meanwhile, Chala also found one on the holes himself. Got a shield here covering him on Dining Door. He's a bit flashed. And a bit alone with 10 seconds left. Oh my god, the backpack. Paolo finds him and Liquid takes the first round. It's a good start. Confident, calm, collected, clean, fast. Liquid looking very good already. Maybe they had that warm-up on Cafe and now they're ready to slap booty. What's the Frost picks? Frost is great on a couple of bomb sites. Generally, Frost is great on maps with a lot of windows. Think Skyscraper, Gym Defense, Clubhouse, and Chalet. Not so much Chalet Basement, because again, no windows, but Frost is a really strong operator. They buffed her recently. She has a secondary shotgun now, so that's great. And on LAN, with low ping and good hit rate, her gun hits really hard. Normally, Frost's gun is a bit of a pea shooter. Doesn't do a lot of damage. But it's more like a potato shooter here. It hurts a bit more. And it's been played to great effect by a lot of teams, actually. Yeah, Nesk screen watches like more than any other player I've seen on LAN. Nesk screen watches a lot, he does. I would say it's not just Nesk, it's more like a LATAM thing. And I think it kind of comes from the nature that LATAM's been playing on LAN event for like on LAN for so long. They had their own like Brazilian LAN event before they had Pro League. Back in the Liquid Prime days, it wouldn't be uncommon for Nesk to sit between two players, and both those players had their monitors turned towards him. He could just sit like this and peek two screens that would drone for him and just go crazy. We scrimmed Team Liquid back in the day when we were in Brazil, and it was like Nesk against the world. Like, he would have two drones, and as the drone peeked you, Nesk peeked you. So either you flick the drone and kill the drone and die to Nesk, or you try and kill Nesk, but he kills you anyway, you know? I've never felt more helpless than playing against Nesk back in the Prime. And it wasn't just like, you know, one round here, one round there. It was like every round consistently always better. Solid player. And to be fair, screen peeking, you know, perfectly legal. Anyone can do it. It makes sense. If you don't mind doing it. Plant coming down, 5v5. Both Echodons taken out. No C4 coming through, and they plan 5 versus 5. Paolo finds 2 kills in West Main. Big from Paolo. Achieved halfway across the map, has now to close in. Also, do note that Liquid is playing the Dokkaebi, an operator they are known for internationally. I myself has felt the doom of it before, and now TSM are as well. Nesk with the perfect weapon for this fight with the G8. Never stop shooting. Very nice. Clean round from Liquid. You guys were doubting Liquid's Chalet boys, saying TSM's gonna take it easy, okay? This don't look so easy. How is stress level for big tournaments? I think it's fine. I think what separates, you know, the best players and like good players is that when you're under pressure, great players, they rise up and they thrive under pressure. Good players, they don't get, you know, they don't get phased by it. And an average player gets affected by it, you know? When you see these kind of players, Liquid especially, very experienced, don't think they care too much about being in the quarters, the semis, the final. And if you look at that gameplay right now, it's confidence across the board. Taking opportunities, knowing their win condition, not second guessing every step. When I look at Liquid on paper, I think Chalet is great for them. The old border as well, such a good Liquid map. I mean, they beat us on it. It didn't feel very good, that's for sure. Attacker sided, it is attacker sided. But look at how the rounds have played out. It hasn't even been close. The thing I don't like from TSM, which they have stopped with now, is they bring the IQ, sorry, the Valkyrie, and they bring the Echo. And Liquid is sticking the IQ every round. So you're just giving the IQ more value in the pick. If you pick both the Valkyrie and the Echo, you know? It just gives Liquid even more of like a justification for bringing it over and over again. They are off both operators now. They just got the vigil, that's about it. What would I rather see? Well, this is how it plays out, right? Liquid is playing IQ. Often, this will take away, let's say, the Ash, a second set of nades, basically soft breach. So if you're TSM in this case and play a lot of shields, which they are, they're playing 3 of them now, that's a great addition. That's how I would play it. They only have 2 nades. That's the only way, besides Sophia of course, that can destroy shields. So if you bring a lot of soft breach gadgets, whether it's Maestro cameras, bulletproof, shields, they will need to be using all their nades on destroying gadgets, which it sucks, right? Because nades are lethal to players. And that's how you can kind of punish the IQ. You can go off the Valkyrie and Echo entirely, and then you can 6-pick off the Valkyrie later on when they go off the IQ, because you're no longer a threat. And that's kind of how the 6-pick mind games plays through. Nice angle from Merc, gets traded back by Sexy. He's got the better scope for the long angle. C4 comes flying. Barely misses. Bolo's still got a shield to go. Doesn't have a lot of support, he is quite alone. And that's the last C4 off the board. Now it's all down to guns. Chala finds Moringa, and Bolo is still alone up top. Is staying his ground despite the flashbang. Knows that Texas is closing in. Jumps over. Smart decision, I would say indeed. And now Liquid having to breach the hatches with 30 seconds left. 2 versus 3. Side is pretty weak because most of the utility went upstairs. So it's not too big of a task. But it is if a chief smacks you in the back of your head. It is now PSK against the world with 15 seconds left and Diffuser nowhere near him. And this looks like TSM is going to take the round, and they do. The Chief finds the second, and it is 2-1. Still Liquid in the favor. Put Merc on Maestro. I don't know if Merc should play Maestro, but I would love to see Maestro pick, personally. I would. The thing is, Liquid is so dependent on like droning that Mute and Mossy are such great operators to play against them. So is Maestro. The thing is, the Bolo positions this map doesn't really favor Maestro. Or Frost, that matter. I mean, you could maybe put Bolo and Frost, take Chala on the Maestro if you wanted. You're gonna be down 2 shields, so pick your poison. Can't have it all. They are getting bulletproofs now, and this is what we like to see. Bulletproof from a Chief and bulletproof from Vigil. So we got 3 shields and 2 bulletproofs, and that's the soft breach we spoke about earlier. Liquid has to kill 5 things, but only 4 soft breaches in this case. And that is assuming that everything goes perfectly smooth. What's easier in Pro League, attack or defense? Depends on the map. On this map, attack is statistically favored. Again, some teams and some players, they will prefer one over the other. I, for example, prefer playing defense on... like half the maps I prefer defense, half the maps I prefer attack. I love attack on maps like Clubhouse, Theme Park, where you can like strategically like do stuff. What are you breaching? How are you breaching? What are your operator bands? But I hate attacking on like Coastline, because it's just like, how do we get this kill, you know? There's not a lot of like pulling apart on the map. I love attack on maps you can plant, like Consulate, for example. I love attack on maps like Clubhouse again, because of planting. I don't think I would like to attack on Chalet, but I haven't played it because I quit.
Somebody playing on piano because they're trying to stop us pushing into that location. 5 versus 5 still, as we don't have an opener yet. The silhouettes tell us that there is somebody up above, but won't be able to see the man for the time being, and the Vigil escapes.
It's a dangerous game to play. Peeking out the holes like this.
He's gonna get burnt if he's not careful.
Oh, they see his feeties.
And I'm sure Merc saw the leg there, but didn't want to take the challenge. I think just keep on trying to reposition for a better angle. Now has to step away as the wall gets open.
I prefer Chalet attack to defense. Yeah, that's probably because it's attacker favorite, right? Like it's arguably like the easier way to win. Because defending on Chalet is kind of like you're stuck in. Like look at TSM's setup right now. They're kind of stuck in corners. One guy's AFK in office, one guy's AFK in piano supporting him, 2 guys on side, 3rd guy's roaming. You're not really being super mobile or fluid, dynamic, you know? You're kind of sitting your ground, waiting for him to come to you. Then the nade comes out. Now they fall back 1 step, so piano player goes to bathroom and office player goes to piano. So they give it up in stages. If they can hold this line right here, they're actually pretty good off. But it's no easy task. And retake an office, even less so. Nesk has to find this bandit charge, and there it goes, but goes off with that as well. It's a 2-for-1 trade in favor of TSM. And they're still holding it above.
That is another one coming in for Merc. He's had a great round. I've got to shout him out again on the Vigil. He's absolutely played his role perfectly, wasting time, finding kills, just making it impossible for Liquid to push forward.
Pandir is so hard. There's vertical holes, bunch of angles, crossfires. Actually a great plant spot though. Shooting forward a DMR as well, very impressive indeed. It should not matter too much because it's you against the world. Oh my lord, 60 cake. But there's no time. I will say, valiant effort. Very, very valiant effort. Alright, we got the Maestro. It's almost as if TSM can hear us talk, dude. They went from into like bulletproof and shields. Now bulletproof and Maestro cams. Geo though, we didn't predict that one. Bolo and Mute, so they swap a route a bit off the Mossy. I like this.
You think about Trophy and
So again, TSM doing a really good job at punishing the lineup of Liquid. They still got the shield, they still got it, but now they got the 2 bubbles instead. Supplementing the Mossy into the mute to still keep that consistency across with the wall deny and the drone deny. And again, Liquid has to keep playing the IQ in case TSM plays the Valkyrie or the Echo. Also, IQ is great for the verticality with like the jammers, the bandit charges, etc., all that stuff. So it's still good nonetheless to play the IQ, but you do get a lot less value. I'm sure Nesk and Liquid themselves would prefer to play something else if they could, but it's a risky one if they do. Oh, oh, Nesk! It looks so easy. Playing against some of the best players in the world and you walk over them like nothing. That is the G8 Nesk Latin factor. Moringa found 1, Nesk found 2. It is 2v5 in a matter of a few seconds. And that was simply just the entry. Now, Chala and Geo, they can lash out and play a bit aggressive here. They need to do something. Once this wall gets open, once they drone the side, it is all ogre. I wouldn't blame them if they swung super hard. Because playing deep back on site will not lead to victory, that's for sure. The second they can just plant here. Like, they don't even gotta care about anything else. So very surprising to see TSM playing so far backwards. I would assume they would be swinging the double door piano and the breach and whatnot. Not yet. There we go. Chala 1v5 back end of sight, but no, flawless round from Liquid. Who in chat said Liquid couldn't win attacks because that was clean? Do you think current TSM could beat Prime G2? I'm gonna be honest. I don't think anyone, even now, could beat Prime G2. I'll say that. Paris Major G2 is the best team in the world to ever play Siege. And until anyone proves me otherwise, with a similar scoreline of not losing a single map, I'll stick to that fact. We lost 1 map against Mockit in group stage on Villa, and the day after we 6-0'd Millennium on Villa, right after. And people thought we lost on purpose just to play Villa again. That's how good we were. People thought we lost the map on purpose to hide strats. That's where the strat came from, like the strat meme. No, we just lost because we were bad. Mockit was better. So we got 6-0'd. Day after, we 6-0 our opponent again. Like, it was unreal. Who's number 2 all time? I think Empire. I think Empire in their prime is the second best team in the world, personally. It's so hard to say because, like, are we talking this meta or the old meta, you know, etc. But I think the way Empire played the game back in the day when it, you know, it worked, it was so hard to play against. And G2 was one of the few teams that could actually beat them. They were so scary to beat. Why did they swap operators so much? Bolo was Frost, now Chala is Frost. Bolo was Goyo, now Chief this. There can be a couple of reasons for it. One, it can be that it's player positions, and they can be like, yo, Bolo, I'm not feeling the spot, can you play it instead? For example, now Bolo is playing the Wamai in on the shield position instead of Mossy. Why is that? It's so that Bolo himself can play with the discs to keep himself and his shield alive. Last time around, Bolo was playing Mossy, and when they started, you know, flashing and nading towards him, he couldn't do much about it. So it's actually TSM adapting round after round after round. They've played Mute, they've played Mossy, they've played Maestro. And they're just constantly swapping around on different win conditions, playing around Liquid setup. It's really well done, to be honest. It's really well done. Liquid is doing the opposite. They're bringing, like, basically the same operators every single round for the most part. And again, they don't need anything else. It's not about how Liquid needs to pick operators. Like, they can win any round, any attack with this setup. They don't need anything else. Like, sure, that Dokkaebi, now they have Buck, but they're fine either way. TSM, however, they need to change stuff up so it's not predictable and easy and history repeating itself twice in a row. Bolo found Sexy Kick here up top. That's the 1.5x on the MP5K. And he's going to be safe and sound on this shield as he got a Rune Gate and the discs to help him.
keep hold of that top floor for the time being. They've got the Wamai of Bolo playing on mezzanine. He's been very difficult. He's been a consistent.
SI is more competitive than Paris Major? Yes and no. Yes and no. It's different times with different teams. It's hard to argue. SI is generally the most competitive. But I would also say that 2018 and 2019 Penta D2 is also better than most teams in the world right now. It's just less dominant, but still really strong regardless. Merc did show his shoulder on a wiggle. Unlucky. 2v3. Bolan achieved both very low on health, so this is more like 1.5 versus 2. But with 10 seconds left, I don't think the manpower matters that much. All that matters is to swing at the right time, and Bolan gets a triple kill as PSK gets achieved as well. And with no time left, Chala finds the kill, and it is a 3-3 split as we swap the sides. Changing attack and ops during prep phase is really going to change Pro League, huh? Yeah, Monkey, it is. Right now in Pro Play, there's not a big reason to drone inside the building because, again, Liquid can bring this exact lineup every round. They don't even need to drone. They know it's good. But with the possibility of changing attack and operators mid-round, in prep phase, that is, as you're droning, you can be like, oh, shit, guys. They are bringing like a super hard shield setup over here. Or, oh, guys, this side is super weak for a rush. Let's play Lion, or like, let's play Lion or Jackal Dokkaebi, you know? Oh, guys, like, they're so weak to a Blitz right now. Let's hit him with it. You can change stuff and you can choose to use your drones aggressively, get early information, use that information to then make a decision on what operator to pick. Right now, you can 6-pick, but it's mostly like guessing games. TSM not bringing the IQ. They are A-okay with not taking that opportunity. And as I said earlier, we did see a lot of North American teams play the Zero, which Chala is also bringing, and how they use him is quite interesting. They basically use the Zero as like a nomad, but instead of having like traps that stops them from flanking, they have information. So they will use, you know, 3-4 Zero cameras across the map. They can flick between to like lock it all down. And then the Zero himself also has 2 additional drones, and he can do a lot of work. You can sit like outside fireplace, double door on K9 balcony. And you can have flank info, you get entry drone, you can get so much value. Just look here already now. Trench info, bam, done. That's taken care of. It's like a Valk on attack, essentially. Only difference is, you need to take the map to get the info. You can't just start with the info, right? So now there's trophy info, trench info, and those cams will stay most of the round. They can't really get killed if you put them smartly. Bolo sees the head, but Chala finds it. Opening frag for TSM. Oh, that is a close call, but Paolo is better. Shuts down Chala. Almost gets Bolo. That would have been a crazy kill if Paolo pulled that off. Explosive start so far. Moringa didn't swing. I'm a bit surprised about that. Doesn't matter though. 60k found the likes of Bolo, evening up the man's score, but gets refranked by Geo. Now it's down to Moringa and Nesk. Quite a lethal combo indeed, and Nesk does also find the head of Geo. 2v2, no refrags coming out just yet. It's a 1-for-1 trade, with a bit of time in between.
Still got 2 smoke canisters to play behind as well. No massive fear, but achieved with 2 grenades.
Geez, we're gonna work on the sauna side, or what are people calling it? Solarium side. I think we're gonna call it jungle here because it's trees. We're gonna jungle side of things. One guy on the staircase, one guy window, assisting each other on this walk up. It's quite a good decision, I would say. Now they gotta get achieved inside the building as well, because Merc is solo bolo right now. They got plenty of time. 1 minute. They can slow it down. Quick note here. Moringa has a shield in his pocket. Unless it's a UI bug. Which it could be. I don't think it's a bug. But he also hasn't put the shield down yet. Obviously, Moringa might be waiting for the perfect time, but I would say now is a great time to put down that shield, as we are closing in on the end of the round. And it is still in his pocket. This is pretty good. Achieved creating chaos and confusion. Opening door and window while Merc sneaks in, and it comes down to timing. Merc does not see him. Moringa is a dark operator on a dark piano, and it is unfortunate, but it is the way it is, and that is the way the cookie crumbles. 4-3 for Liquid. Had that been a light operator, say a Valkyrie, right? Say a Jaeger, say a Bandit, odds are Merc would have seen the guy on piano. But it's a dark operator, a dark default uniform, on a dark piano. And he scanned right past him. Bad skins? I mean, that's default skin. If anything, it's just bad map design. If you look at Valorant, they have done it quite well. Not only is there operator outlines, so that you can't just blend in, but they also don't use the same color palette for the characters as the map design. They only have details like above a certain area of the wall that's like above the player itself. It's quite smart. Did we have operator outlines in Siege? That could have gone very differently because they wouldn't blend in. Who knows? Merc missing that kill is perfectly explainable and it's perfectly fine. I've made the same mistake myself. Not on this map, but it is tough. Remember guys, you need to balance your monitor settings for 2 scenarios. 1, dark corners, but 2, peeking outside. If your brightness is too high, you can see the corner, but if you peek outside, you get flashed by the fucking sun. And if you make the brightness too low, well then you can't see the corner, but now you can peek outside. It's really, really tricky to get the perfect balance in Siege because of the lighting situation, I would say. Just put sunglasses on me, spawn peek. 200 IQ, my man. Man whips out the sunglasses and the enemy knows it's time for business.
A small fragment beforehand, and in fact someone commented earlier on that they've seen teams using alternative grips.
It is funny to see that. I believe NA is like the only region that plays the 0 here, at least that I've seen so far. Timing favors Paolo this time around. The roles are reversed, although it was Merc who also got picked off by Nesk. So 2 opening kills from Liquid. And look at how Liquid plays the map. They are everywhere, holding every corner and most parts of the map, playing tight together for refrag as well, and of course winning individual gunfights. Paolo was isolated, running away, but outside of that, it was quite good indeed. I'm telling you, this map is perfect for Liquid's playstyle. They're so good at knowing when to squeeze and when to let go. Geo with a nice shot. Goes for an instant plant off the bad hatch reinforced tower with great cover. 1 fireplace, 1 above. This is gonna be a great cover duty from Chala. He missed the head, but got in. Post plant 1v2. Both guys same door, but it doesn't matter. They get 1 each. XK gets Geo, PSK gets Chala. Despite the bomb going down for Siege.dg rating, it will be the 5th round. The going goes to Team Liquid. Now Merc brings out the Jackal. I actually like this, trying to control the map a bit more. You know, normally you can like, let's say you play like Ying or Glass, or you know, you're playing to plan, to execute. TSM isn't getting that far. They don't need to worry about how to plant, how to win. They're losing in the early game, the entry frags, the beginning stage of the rounds. So now they're picking Jackal, who favors the early game more, but the late game less. They're losing 3 Ash charges in return. And this is terrible for them because bulletproof, Banshees, 2 shields. Right? But they are choosing to trade into a more heavy early game focus to see if they can even reach that late stage. Because they haven't so far. And I think it's a great choice. TSM continues to surprise and impress with the 6 picking and swapping of operators. They've done a really good job this game so far. Even if they're losing, it's actually great in theory. I will say that. Very few teams do this. They don't have enough to soft breach to clear stuff. They don't. But as I said, Luffy, it doesn't matter if TSM can't breach the soft like gadgets, if they can't even get inside the building, right? So again, TSM are playing to try and get to that stage that they failed and struggled to get to by picking a Jackal. And it makes sense. Why would you play for the late game when you can't even see the late game? They don't gotta worry about that until they get there. So again, it makes sense. Speaking of early game, Bolo swings wide, gets taken down, Ness contests and wins. 2 guys did almost get nailed, the one being Palo, one being Nesk, but almost is not close enough. And that was a bit of a solo Bolo from Bolo. There wasn't much help to be had. He was fighting 2 angles at once. Hoping to see some help, but no. Chala also found isolated on K9. Now a Chief's turn. Does get 60k and shuts that down. But he is now alone in library. Chooses to go outside and not peek further. Waits for assistance. Merc has used one scan, but one scan only.
Didn't immediately respond and try and challenge him off the back of it, but 10 seconds later does go for just that and unfortunately walks away the loser. They've still got a player at the top of library stairs. We spoke about this earlier on, that sometimes it can be a little bit far to extend into library itself.
Well, potatoed. I mean, to be fair, Nesk was playing like he was playing on the fucking thing, right? So he was like in a weird position with his head.
Whilst those players are present, the Inox ringing out.
See, this is where the Jangle comes in handy as well for the mid game.
Right now. Need to worry about taking the challenge just yet. With that Inox still ticking out, they at least know that someone is nearby. Paolo finally being
Look at that. Merc finds Paolo.
Merc. 3 versus 3. 45 seconds ace. We know how this works in favor of the defenders, especially when Moringa has still got all 3 smoke canisters.
Merc taking a lot of damage there. Nesk is low health as well, but this for me, Des, is a must-win round for TSM here. They've got 3 versus 3 and 30 seconds to turn their fates around here on Chalet. If Team Liquid get themselves onto match point, it's unlikely that they give it up now. Then Moringa has to react quickly.
Oh, Moringa.
But then is challenged by a Chief rushing up from
like when you're playing smoke in this position, it's so hard. You got the SMG11, shotgun, and smoke canister. Which decision is the right one is so hard to figure out. Everyone right now is on 1 health. Everyone is oh so low. And there's no bomb plant. Or no bomb cover, should I say. Both players 1 bullet shy of death, but the flick from a Chief comes out and he takes down Nesk. A Chief brings the fire, gives TSM the round. Both players would have died to a single bullet. I don't think they realized that Smoke was injured the way TSM was playing that round. There's a huge round for TSM. It would have been match point or map point otherwise. Yeah, Nesk was standing on the fucking thing. So I wouldn't say Bolo like potato. It was more like Bolo's aiming head level. But this guy is in fucking heaven, you know? It's kind of iconic that he wins that clutch with the SMG11, right? Against the Brazilians. That is kind of iconic. How's the Chief holding his mouse? Like this. So he holds like with his fingertips, with the palm being on the top part of the hum, right? And it looks like he's often dropping his mouse, so he's like re-picking it up like this to like adjust it. Twist from CSGO, former Liquid player, current FaZe player, also very much known for that grip. It's not meant for that mouse, the G Pro Wireless, or G Pro in general. It's meant for the Sawi EC series, which he came from. So, why is there a 6th man when he's not playing? Coach, Byron. It's a coach. The 6th man you see behind the players is the head coach of both teams. It is Silence from Team Liquid and it is Pojo Man from Team TSM. They help with anything from strats to bans to motivation to passion to vibes. Oh, Merc got a question mark. Did he hit him with a wallbang? Is that it, Merc? Or it's more like, what are you doing kind of thing. Look at this. Merc swings, he gets swung back. Paolo trying to challenge, being cheeky early. That's been Liquid's game plan so far. Challenge TSM on the entry. For the first time, going in TSM's favor. Wasn't Pojo a player? Yes, Pojo's a player on Flipside. And on SKT, Bolo also finds 60k, comes out with no damage taken here.
I think he was hoping he could get back to his team before they pushed too deep into library, but clearly mistimed that one.
Pojo got replaced by Chala, I believe, and it was a mutual decision. Pojo actually wanted to step down, as far as I understand. I was offered the position once, but it never worked out. But I was offered to replace Pojo Man and he would go to coach. Back when they picked up Geo, I believe. So it was gonna be me and Geo joining. Or whatever. Oh, Nesk. So good. Round and round again, finding these impossible kills. And it's kills like those, bringing back the man count a bit, that is going to make or break the difference in these rounds.
Where was the question mark in chat? I want to know. Make him sit down. Make him pay for earlier on. It would have been the great one to respond. The duo come in and saying, you're going to bully my little brother. Well, I'm here.
But Nate, though.
Ready to bully you back.
Oh, Nesk runs all the way to basement, runs out and gets another. Now he can run all the way back up. TSM probably going to pull a trigger here as they know this guy offside. They do. Chala is with great cover, finding the head of PSK, or the body, I should say. Smoke grenades goes wide. They are missing. Bomb should go down shortly. And Chala's finding 1, finding 2. Bolo with the last and 5-5 scoreline. As Bolo finds the last head of Moringa, TSM brings it back. Seems like there was no flank camps there, but it didn't matter. The second Nesk killed the Chief on the big window rappel, TSM knew there was only 2 guys on site. And they chose to run it all the way in and take advantage of that fact. Oh. And Nesk is dirty, look at that. Also, that smoke grenade doesn't damage Geo. It was like on the table and it only went above. It was kind of weird. Please bring the Ying. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of Ying. I mean, Ying on Chalet can work. I think it's too difficult right now. Especially against Liquid, who's good at shutting down the early game. Because if you pick the Ying, I think you gotta rush side. Rushing bar? I don't know, dude. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Can both teams talk to the coach no matter who calls a timeout? Yes. If Team Liquid calls a timeout, then TSM also get to talk to the coach. The only difference is, of course, that whoever initiates the timeout, they get to choose when exactly it happens. And they most likely also have something specific in mind to talk about. Whereas the opposing team will have to just accept the timeout, be like, oh, timeout now, and find something to talk about. Luckily, I would say in my experience, usually there's always something to talk about. Whether it's saying, hey guys, keep it up, good job. Saying, oh, they took a timeout because they're scared, you know, keep up the momentum. The feelings. Whether it's saying, hey guys, we've been playing this game really fast paced, now it's time to slow it down. Something that a lot of teams don't really take advantage of is like changing the pace. Playing fast one round, slow the next. It's very hard to do, but it's even harder to play against. Imagine you have to fear the enemy like rushing. If you fear the enemy rushing side, but they're not rushing side, that's a great advantage. Look at that. Merc sneaking, roaming, ratzing about, finds the head of Paolo again. TSM opening kill. Looking a lot better since that timeout, I will say. Yeah, if coaches would talk during matches, that would be ridiculous. Because a coach is like a 6th player that has no stress, no pressure, and has all 5 point of views. It's kind of bull because the coach would, you know, basically be a 6th player if you could talk. He could IGL. He could sit there behind the players and go, oh, breach that wall. Yo, remember flank drones? And since there's no pressure, because it's not like inside the game, it kind of takes away the player skill, you know? Who was my IGL when I was playing? I was the IGL. It was Fabian and me back in the prime, and it was Uno and myself back in the recent times. I've been IGLing my entire career, since the very first season. Yeah, CSGO once had a rule, and then coaches became the IGLs. Then they changed the rules, and some teams got... Nesk finds 2. Shotgun Pow Pow 15 and 6 so far. Really stepping up for his team. Bolo says, so am I. Watch me take side. 8 and 7 on his line as well. Now, Merc and Bolo with a bump between them has to find Diffuser and figure out how to figure it out. But as Bolo comes into the sprint, Nesk takes the triple. Could be set up for the ace here. Gets the 4K. 1 man left. Shotgun in hand. Gets the ace. And Nesk says, no, we will not lose this round. We will not lose this match. 6-5 map point for Team Liquid. An ace seemingly out of nowhere on a pretty average round played out, getting all 5 kills on the library stairs. It did seem a bit questionable from TSM that it almost seemed like they didn't know he was there, but he's gotten 4 kills or 3 kills here. You see, he killed 1 guy early, shotgun the second, and Nesk shot down this round single-handedly. Had that guy ran to side with Diffuser, that is round over for Team Liquid. But Nesk holds the fort. He's better. And I think this is kind of like a lesson. Regardless of what happens. Let's say Liquid loses now. TSM goes on. Whatever. Regardless of what happens. Paolo has been spoken of as the best player this event. And probably seen as one of the best players, if not the best player in the world. But when it matters the most, when you're deep in the tournament, when you're down man count, when you're down in rounds, it's Nesk who rises up. It's Nesk with 18 kills, finding opening after opening, shutdown after shutdown, and this guy has been doing it for 5 years straight. at the highest level of Siege. Internationally, Team Liquid and Nesk himself only has a single victory under their belt, against me actually, in Atlantic City, North American Pro League Final, or American Pro League Final held in America at least. And they showed us how good they were. Ever since then, they haven't won internationally. And it would be quite beautiful to see them take the hammer. I've always been a big fan of Team Liquid and their players, and the org. Liquid, they are good players when they lose, but they are champions when they win. TSM, third round in a row with the opening kill. Quite a shot from Bolo. I guess there's a hole in the wall, he shot through it. They love pushing library. They do it every round. Look at this angle from... Oh. Tight angle. That's a 2x scope, dude. 2x scope difference.
We spoke about the importance of the mezzanine spot and clearing it out that early in the round. That could be
cheater for sure, yeah, for sure cheating.
If they're looking to push towards overtime, which they absolutely certainly will be, they need to keep themselves. They don't want to go to a third map. That's not the sort of thing you want to do against Team.
Look how hard Nesk is to kill. He doesn't give up. He does not give up.
The challenge continues.
Always applying pressure, always taking confrontations. Does get shut down by Bolo. No refrag in sight. And now it's a scary time to be Liquid.
I was just about to say, there is just Palu to clear out, but you can never think of it as just Palu. He is just as capable.
Bolo's got some system of Merc here, but timing might strike against his favor. Oh, Palu actually changed his mind, runs backwards. He doesn't commit, he gets picked off by Bolo in a run back. Now Bolo may be looking for his own ace, as he's gotten 3 so far with 2 more to find. 1 minute left. Sides being breached. We might just see an ace back to back, but that would have to go the right way if that's the case. Does Bolo read it? He does! Bolo on 4. Is this the ace delivery? It's not. Chala finds PSK. It's not an ace to ace, but it is the round to round. 6-6. And we have overtime on our hands. Right now, we're looking at a Bolo-Nesk situation here. Moringa sleeping. My guess is that Moringa didn't hear Bolo. You react faster to audible cue than visual cues. So if you hear someone approaching you, you can be like lightning fast. As if you think it's clear, like if you don't hear anyone close, and he just like appears like this. You know? It is hard. It is hard. Bolo probably knew he was there as well. I assumed so at least. It looked like it. The one thing that's nice to see here, right? The contrast. TSM, before Bolo got that 4K at least, we're sitting very close on kills. 5, 7, 8, 9. Now 12 Bolo. Whereas Liquid, top to bottom, 2 and 18. 16 kills between them. So man for man, TSM wins. And Nesk is not letting go of this W button, dude. He is looking for blood. The thing is, I've always heard Nesk being like a great SMG11 player, but I've never... There's no way he wins this. I've never seen it, really. I've never really seen it. Oh, Bo let both people cross here. That's unloco malocco. 19 kills for Nesk. Might just break an even 20 this round. He's got full health. Got a C4. It is interesting though, if you have 19 kills, I'm surprised he's playing mute. Maybe that's just like my team that plays that way, but if you're having like a phenomenal game, you get put on like whatever you want, you know, a good gun. Like let's say, like anyone could swap with him, right? If he wants to play the Melusi instead for the MP5 or whatever. Thank you, rice pudding. What's the Pro League record for kills? 26 by Palu, Nesk's teammate. Happened at OGA Pit, Croatia. A minor event that was a qualifier for Invitationals that year, I think. The odds of breaking that record, again, if Nesk goes nuclear and we go max OT, he could break it. He could. But it's so hard. Even in this game with 19 kills and 3 rounds left, it's so, you know, you gotta go the distance. Bolo finds Sexy Cake. Good way of bringing it back. But with 15 seconds left, is that guy in the closet? Maybe I saw wrong. Oh, Liquid plays as well. One guy on each staircase, one guy above, one guy below. They are seemingly everywhere. And what looked like a great wallbang was actually Marinka with a shotgun shutting down TSM's attack. And Liquid swaps sides now as they go on to attack TSM in defense. 7-6 to Liquid. Oh, two more, he went 27. It's weird, everyone keeps saying 26, but maybe I should double check myself. Because the casters are saying 26 as well. I mean, the same was with my... I had the record before Paolo. I still have the record, actually, for most round kills against Fund. And my record also gets messed up all the time. Oh, that is a nasty way to go out, but the cover might be good. Oh, the refrag from Paolo is huge. That is absolutely massive. Merc, probably with the bulletproof, not the impact, couldn't finish off the kill. Greeted forward. Risked his life and it got taken advantage of. Now a jump out could be happening, but I guess not. And that is a great way of trading a live 6k. Baiting it all along, of course. What's my record? I got like a 23 or 21 kill game in Pro League. In less rounds. I can show you after this game. Let's watch this first.
10 seconds left to go. Any electronic gadget should pretty much remain safe now, but
basically, I got more kills per round. But Paolo's got the most kills in a single round map. Bolo! Absolutely massive here. Finds both kills, runs away with his life intact. It was looking so good for Liquid. So good. That is Nesk and Paolo off the board. Whenever Nesk says no, Bolo says hold my beer. Yeah, Bolo took that ace personal. You don't say. There's a great showing from both star players. Oh, there is a frostmat in this window, guys. That was last round. PSK, does he check it? Does he check the POCmat? Oh, okay, yeah, he pinged it for Marinka. Okay, he checked it. It's clear good. Bolo with a C4 kill and an SMG-11 swing. 7-7 max overtime. Liquid versus TSM, Bolo versus Nest. There's a couple ways we can spin this. But next round is do or die. Doesn't matter who the goats are. Because after next round, your kill count will go to 0. And if TSM wins it, that will be it. If Liquid wins it, we live another map. What do I got? I mean, I think TSM's gonna win 2-1. But I thought Liquid would win this map. Chalet. I will say though, as good as Nesk has been for Liquid, without Bolo, TSM would have lost a long time ago. I will say. It seems more like Nesk has been keeping Liquid in the game, whereas Bolo is the reason for why they're even here still, if that makes sense. Is Basement a bad bomb site in comp? Yeah. Yeah. Basement's the worst bomb site, I think, in pro play. This round, Nesk gonna ace and team kill 2 teammates. He's gonna break the record right now. I don't think team kills count for the record. Because then you could be feeding off your teammates the poor innocent lives, you know? Oh, a cheese with a nade miss. Unlucky way to start the round, but we'll get over it. Look at how both teams are still playing with so much aggression. Look at Marinka. He walks past the nade, ice cold, hip fired, and just casually walks backwards. Says, you know what? This is my staircase. Ridiculous. Normally a player will walk backwards into the line of sight of Chala. He walks forward into the window. 6k finds Bolo on the vertical. That's Bolo out of the game. That's a huge kill. First, 6k baked with his life. Now he takes a life. This is gonna slow down TSMS. Remember, Bolo was the injury. Bolo got stuff done on the map. Nesk finds achieved 21 kills to 8. And without Bolo, who has been the consistent injury, I am fearful of TSM's time running out. There's a minute and 20 left, and Chala is very, very low in health as well. And without counting TSM out just yet, it does appear that unless a miracle happens, that we will be going all the way Yep, all the way to our third map. Nesk on this nasty shield position. 22 kills now. Finds Geo. Bomb is down. Or Diffuser, should I say. And it's just Chala and Merc against the world. Both pretty far away from each other. One is top floor, one is first floor.
Sexy Cake on the vertical, daring him to step forward, but it's not going to happen. Chala, he sees defeat but can't find the kill. Knows that one's at the top of Library. He's almost pinned.
Nesk could find 2 more here. Make it 24. That's close. Makes it 23, and with that is the map.